Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review and back onto the Pokemon franchise. Now, moving on to the next installment, which is the last one for the Black and White series. Now, next one, moving into Pokemon the movie, Genesect, and the Legend Awakened. Now, this one, where stars the ancient Pokemon Genesect, and of course the legendary Pokemon Mewtwo. And now with this one, I do still like. I just have one issue, which it should be one should be the obvious one though, but for to me it is. But like before that though, um, like I said, it's the last one with in the Black and White series. You know, with Ash traveling with uh Silent and Iris before getting to the XY series. But and also the first one, like it's like the first one in the series to get like about very low much low ratings. Well, Rotten Tomatoes is like a negative rating on Rotten Tomatoes. This one has a 35%, which is like the lowest. It's probably been like the lowest since Pokemon Heroes, I would say, or because for the ones that were released in theaters. Because majority of all of the direct-to-video sequels have got a lot of high ratings of Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. But this one, for the first one, it's like the first one in the series to get a low rating of Rotten Tomatoes, and like the longest ones. And then this has a 5.5 in IMDb, and so it's also much lower than most of the previous installments as well. Um, and it also made like not much, and it's like I mentioned, not much. It's like lower Japanese box office making than the previous ones. Like made like 32 million as well, and it was released in Japan in 2013, but also came in DVD in the US a few months later in 2013. So, but as this story goes, you see some Genesect. You know, they're going to this they're looking for their home where they once lived, because they're ancient Pokemon that live like over 300 million years ago. And there's 5 of them, and this red one is the leader of the pack. And then there's this one Genesect that almost goes over a cliff, but all the ones pull him out, and it says, you know, I want to go home. I want to go home. And then on the distance, you know, you have Mewtwo. You know, flying with some other flying Pokemon, and transforms into its Mega Evolution form. And it hears the Genesect's cry for help, and it hears that it goes there. And then when it meets them, there was an avalanche. And Mewtwo saves the four Genesects, where the leader was trying to, you know, was in front of them. Was in front of the avalanche, but Mewtwo saved the 4 other ones, which are purple colored. And Mewtwo, you know, talks to the one it's basically our main Genesect, because it's one that wants to go home, one that Ash and the others talk to. and Mewtwo looks into its mind and sees that it's looking for its home, but it's the home that doesn't its home is no longer how it was that all those years ago. It's been completely redone how in the today's age, and it shows that's how it was brought to life from the fossils and from the scientists, which actually is from Team Plasma, because as they were destroying the lab, people running, you saw a door close. It has the symbol with a P, which stands for Team Plasma. Really enough. So yeah, they were brought to life by Team Plasma, and they were trying to find their home, and it shows how because how it was recreated from man. It shows that how Mewtwo was created from man as well, and the red one starts attacking Mewtwo. Says even though Mewtwo says come with me, but the red one says don't give me orders. So it starts attacking. Then they all fly off, and then as they're flying along, because they also like they can transform like from their mode like this into a flying, makes them look like a flying disc basically. But so like that's how they're able to fly. They see they see an upcoming city up ahead, which they saw that kind of looked like their home, so they go there. And that's where we meet to Ash, Iris, and Silent. And is where they meet a guy by the name of Eric, because they want to visit this place called the Pokemon Hills, where all kinds of Pokemon, not only just from the Unova region, but just from other regions as well, all the other previous regions. So, and they want to, and this says before it opens to the public, and they go there and they all let their Pokemon out and let them hang out with all the other Pokemon. And as that's going on, you have the song from the last part of the Black and White series, The Adventures in Unova. You have the song playing, which I do like better than the previous one. And I'll say this one song is one of my favorite of the Pokemon theme songs. It's definitely one of my favorite of the Pokemon theme songs. We will find a way. Uh-oh, we've come so far. We've fought so hard to get where we are. Uh-oh, we belong together. It's always you and me. Pokemon. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite of the Pokemon theme songs, definitely. And that's one of the highlights. Just the beginning, how it shows them the song playing, all of them are playing with the Pokemon, all there. And after that, Ash also with this there's also a Sableye that lives there, and it follows Ash, and they go to this hedge maze, and as they're walking through it, they go to this big lake, and they find one of the Genesect, basically our main one, and it speaks to them, and it says it wants to go home, and then Iris and Silent find them, and says he wants to go home, and Ash promises they'll find him a home. And then the red Genesect and the other ones, they say, "What are you doing?" And it wants to attack them. And the red one orders the purple one, because it can't disobey. So like you see, the red eyes light up, so it knows he can't disobey. He wants to. Even though he doesn't want to attack, but has no choice. So they're about to blast them. Pikachu gets hurt, and then Mewtwo steps in. Well, first it wants them to leave, and then it wants them to leave, but then Mewtwo steps in, and yeah. That was after I thought something else. That was something happened before that, but no. but Mewtwo was only there to save the Pokemon because Mewtwo does not like people because it was created by people because it doesn't like Pokemon and then it is to like people but it shows that how he was saved by Pokemon. I'm sorry, I mean in this case, this is what the main problem what I have with this one is that it's more than just a nitpick, it's a main one though, that's what I was saying. I said I'm sorry, I'm going to call this Mewtwo she because it speaks female, that's why. She. Because and I'll get to the main problem, but I just want to go through it. I don't want to deviate from the plot and make it go more. Because if I keep on going on about it, then I'll get to get the story on. So I'm almost like get through this and then get to the problem here. So because how Pokemon's friends because she it was like Thundering gets struck by lightning and they falls into a cave where some other Pokemon help heal it and bonds to that Pokemon are his friends, and that's why. Then it still doesn't trust people. And tells about the Genesect. And while the Pokemon Center where Pikachu to get healed, and also as soon as Mewtwo flies out of the hole where they were at, and you see Team Rocket pop up out of nowhere. You don't see them like as the movie starts. You just see them right that very hole out of nowhere. And they said they want to capture the Genesect. Yeah. And at the Pokemon Hills, the Genesect they're at the Pokemon Hills. And they're chasing all the Pokemon away. Attacking all the Pokemon, and then Feraligatr tries to fight them, but no good. And the Genesect started making a giant cocoon in the center of in the center of Pokemon Hills, but it's messing up with the power and the generators, and so they go there to try to find what's happening. Of course, there's a Genesect that's causing it. They know the Genesect is causing all of it. But then the guy Eric tries to fix the generators because if it's not fixed, not only for Pokemon Hills, but the whole city will cause a big blackout, and they will never get started again. And they try, and there's the one Genesect, the good one to say, tries to help them, but because also just want to leave because there's also this particular flower that used to be in their home, and it likes the flower, and it's just that the other Genesect tries to attack them, but the good Genesect tries to explain, don't do it, but it's no good. Then the red one shows up. Then Mewtwo shows up again, and then Mewtwo starts fighting the leader, through the city, and and you have this on battle with the leader of the Genesect and Mewtwo, often transforming into its Mega Evolution mode. And while that's going on, the Pokemon that lives in the Pokemon Hills are fighting the other three the Genesects, to attacking. But even the good one, because they see that this is one of those flowers that it likes can be ruined, but then Houndoom mistakenly attacks it. But going through it is that once they find that as they get back into the building, for Mewtwo in the Red Genesect. Um, Ash, tell her to stop everything, but and then the red one starts blasting, and all the other ones starts blasting, but then the good one jumps in the way and saves Ash, and then you think it's like you think it dies though because it turns off. Well, it doesn't though, but it's the eyes, it's red eyes flashes off. You see, and but then after that, Mewtwo and the red Genesect starts still fighting. Ash still telling him to stop, but until he comes running in between, telling him to stop everything, and he says, the Ash trying to explain, we can find homes for all of you, and all the other, the other four, as the good Genesect steps in, and all the other three, the other three Genesect steps in, saying, stop, it's enough. And all the other Pokemon start surrounding, and Mewtwo, you know, but the red one says, you're saying you're all enemies, and starts attacking everyone. But then Mewtwo steps in and starts to take the red one up into space, and to show them that show them from space of the whole planet. It says, this is where we were created. We were created in this planet, for people and Pokemon alike, that we're all friends. And now the Red Genesect finally understands, and but Mewtwo starts falling back into the atmosphere, and the Red Genesect catches them, but they're both falling out of the skies, and they try to the other four Genesect tries to catch them, with their the webbing for the cocooning, but breaks off though. But then Ash and Iris tries to help with the Chars. But Charizard and Dragonite, nothing. So they get to cushion their fall. That they have like Feraligatr and Oshawott and some other Pokemon like Sableye and other ones to use a Psychic to hold this big puddle of water, holding in midair to cushion their fall. So and Ash, Mewtwo thanks Ash, when says they'll be friends, and then goes and transforms to its Mega Evolution mode and goes off, and then they have they get an idea to find a place for the Genesect to live is in this national park where all these flowers were, because there was a picture in the Pokemon Center where these flowers bloom and where these canyons are, and they take it to that place where it can finally have a home, and it says the Genesect saying thank you for everything, and that's basically it, and then as the credits go, Iris, Silent, and Ash, they go off on their journey as usual, and as the credits are going, you see Mewtwo flying, looking to the city, and the Genesect, making another cocoon in the middle of where their new home is, and so on and so forth, and that's basically it. Now, like I said, the one that I have one of the main issues that is with Mewtwo is that the Mewtwo, especially for the English dub voice, is that Mewtwo they made Mewtwo female, because Mewtwo is not, and it shows it shows like a recreating how it was created in the lab and everything and all that, and it's like how they just completely how they altered Mewtwo's origin, because from the first movie, how Mewtwo was how it was created and how it destroyed the lab and even the people inside of it, and how it showed the dark tone and how and the intimidating dark voice of Mewtwo, and how it wants to get rid of all mankind, and and it's just and then which that Mewtwo was like much more intimidating and more intimidated and much more powerful and stuff like that. But now this one's just of course they lined Mewtwo in this and have him made with a female voice. That kind of like I'm watching as I'm watching as I'm comparing it to Pokemon the first movie, and even my brother says, this is not the first Mewtwo, this is a new Mewtwo. I'm like, I can see it because they completely altered this Mewtwo and redesigned its origin story, how it was created. It's like, and plus, if it was the same Mewtwo, it would have remembered Ash, and because in Mewtwo Returns, it didn't erase his memories, and Ash would have remembered the Mewtwo, but. And plus, plus in this one, there's no, it's not, the Mewtwo is not living with its clones that it made, and none of that where it was living at, so. Yeah, it's like, this has to be like another Mewtwo, though, but there can only be one Mewtwo in the Pokemon world, because it was only created one time, so. Yeah, I still like the movie. It's just that the main problem was with Mewtwo, and then all of a sudden now it just knows how to, because it's like how improving more on its powers. Now it just all of a sudden just knows how to Mega Evolution. So this is the main issue for me in this movie. It's this Mewtwo. How make Mewtwo sound female and just by making Mewtwo sound female makes it, even though Mewtwo doesn't supposed to not look the way like male or female. Like in the first movie, you can tell that that's an intimidating Mewtwo, but this one's just more of a the powers, yeah, it's powerful though, but just how Mewtwo looks in this, because how it's, if you go, I'm saying that how Mewtwo is now lightened and lightened tone basically. Because you don't see it's the dark and the dark feel like in the Pokemon in the first movie. In the first movie, that was a very dark tone Pokemon. Spent on destroying mankind because of how it was created, because it was used for a weapon, especially with Giovanni, and then it was to make clones of Pokemon to prove much more stronger than the real Pokemon, and he wanted to see if he was much more powerful than the first Mew. So, yeah, it's just that, and also speaking with Mewtwo, I found, like I mentioned before, I have all the other Pokemon DVDs, though, except for one. I finally managed to, this came in, so I finally managed to get this one. So I can finally rewatch it, and now I can finally review this one now. Yeah, this Mewtwo is still same tone as still the same voice, and the Mewtwo in this is so much more than this one, and I mean, people can agree or disagree with me though, but I just did not like this Mewtwo. It's basically, I can see that this looks like a female a female Mewtwo. I would definitely say that, just how with the voice it makes the Mewtwo look like a female, even though it's supposed to be. It's not. Yeah, this Mewtwo. Yeah, I can tell it's a very intimidated one, especially with its voice and everything. But this one has now gone lighter and officially makes Mewtwo a female, basically. That's the main issue I have with it. But other than that, though, I still like it. I still like the movie, and maybe the 35% and the 505 on IMDb, maybe because they didn't like the fact that they made Mewtwo female. I don't know why, but that's just my main issue with the whole thing, you know. So yeah, after this, I think I'll review this one because because I haven't, like I said, I probably skipped over because it takes place, it still takes place in the Johto region, and but I will review this one next because just to get this one out, then continue onward to finish on this whole franchise. So, but that's all because I've want this is the only one that I never got on DVD, and now I do have it now. So you can tell because it's all brand new and stuff. So now with this one, I'm officially caught up with all the complete Pokemon movies I have until like the next one comes out on DVD. But yeah, I still like Genesect and Legend Awaken. Is that this is the issue is with Mewtwo female. That's my only big complaint in this one. I think this is like the biggest complaint I have with all the Pokemon movies, because like there's some Pokemon movies like I have little nitpick issues though, but this is like a very main complaint on this one. A much bigger complaint. But yeah, well, let's do what can I say about it? If they decide to make Mewtwo female, it's I'm not gonna stop anybody for thinking what they want though. But I just don't agree with it. I mean, because it just really lightens the tone on such a from the first movie. It was such a dark and intimidating Pokemon, and what it was doing in the first movie, and when it took Ash's understanding, how the rest of the world works, so he's trying to make himself better in the world, more into the world, But yeah, if this was the same Mewtwo, they completely redone it, and because otherwise, Ash would remember there was the Mewtwo, with all the clones and everything. But at the ending, says smiling, and it says that Ash, let's be friends, and so. But it's all my opinion though. But if people like this, make Mewtwo female, that's I'm not gonna say anything about that because it's your opinion. So, but in my opinion, I just don't agree that how it could lighten the tone a bit though. So, and just Mewtwo is female in this. So, I don't agree with it though. But other than that though, I still like the movie still, and I enjoyed hearing the opening song that was in the movie, like it was the The Adventures of Unova. That's still one of my favorite songs of the series still, and I probably enjoy them. That's definitely one of the big highlights of it. But the Genesect Pokemon. Although there was one of those theories, those fan theories. They say that there's like a different version of a Kabutops or something like that, though. But it's what they say. It's one of those theories that they said so, but I don't think it's true. But the Genesect though, because they think because there was also a fossil Pokemon, and but it's just so positive because it's still bug. It's still I'm still bugged about what they did with Mewtwo though. I'm just still bugged about that. But I still like the movie still. Genesect and Legend Awakens, I still like it though, but it's definitely not one of my favorites of the direct-to-video sequels. Even though it has one of my favorite of the Pokemon songs, though, it's not one of my favorite direct-to-video sequels. Especially with that main issue I have, it's definitely not. But other than that, though, still getting closer. Just a few more, and I'm done. Even though I said that before, though, because there's just so many sequels. But finally, now I have this, and a couple more to go when then I'll be officially done until the next one comes out. So yeah, I do like this one though, but I just don't agree with what they did with Mewtwo. But the next one, I'm gonna go like all the way back. This one's going all the way back. I'm just glad I finally managed to have a complete of all the Pokemon movies. So this will be the next one, which is, I would say, is much better than this. But other than that though, yeah, stay tuned for this one. Mewtwo returns. But hope you like this review, because if you agree or disagree on the issue with Mewtwo, that's fine. But regardless of that main issue though, I still like the movie, but it's not one of my favorites of the direct-to-video sequel. So, but still, I like Genesect. I thought Genesect was somewhat cool looking design though. I can also say about that. It's also nice because to see of the other regional Pokemon from before, because they said like in the Unova regions only these Pokemon in here only exist though. But yeah, and like for Alligator and Houndoom, because I like for Alligator and Houndoom, and all the other some of the Pokemon from the other region as well. So. But yeah, so that's my review for Pokemon the movie, Genesect, and The Legend Awakened. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for going all the way back. Finally get a chance to review it now. Mewtwo Returns, which is still better Mewtwo than this one, in my opinion. So stay tuned for that, and see you on the next review.